Today, we're kicking off our new series on the 80s. And what better way to start than with a countdown of the top 10 songs of 1980. These tracks weren't just massive hits. They set the tone for an unforgettable decade. So, let's dive in and see which songs made the list.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna...
You have gone.
Starting off at number 10, we have Kenny Rogers. Lady, released in September 1980. This ballad was written by the one and only Lionel Richie. Already a country legend, Kenny Rogers crossed into pop territory with this track.
Let me hear you whisper softly.
Earning a #1 hit on the Billboard charts.
I see no one else but you.
Interesting fact, Lionel Richie initially sang the demo himself, and Kenny was so impressed he stuck close to Lionel's version.
Oh yes, I'll always want you near me.
In at number 9, it's Air Supply with All Out of Love. This soft rock classic dropped in March 1980, bringing the Australian duo into the spotlight. Soaring harmonies and emotional lyrics made it an instant radio favorite. Interesting fact, the band's label was hesitant to release it, thinking it was too emotional, but fans clearly disagreed.
What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that you're tired?
At number 8, we've got Billy Joel. It's still rock and roll to me. Billy Joel's first #1 hit came in May 1980, with this rebellious take on the music industry's obsession with trends.
Where have you been hiding out lately, honey? You can't dress trashy.
The song's rock and roll energy and clever lyrics made it a timeless anthem. Interestingly, this track was Billy's response to critics claiming rock music was fading. Turns out it wasn't going anywhere.
Know that they're out of touch. Should I try? You want love to last forever.
Taking the #7 spot is Paul McCartney with Coming Up, released in April 1980. This funky solo track by McCartney had everyone talking.
It's coming on. Yeah.
While the studio version was great, the live version skyrocketed on the US charts, showcasing McCartney's post-Beatles genius. Paul played nearly every instrument on the studio version himself, proving he's a one-man band. At number 6, we have Pink Floyd with Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Dropping in January 1980, this haunting anthem spoke out against rigid schooling systems. Its chant-like chorus and eerie vibe made it unforgettable. Interesting fact, the kids' choir in the song wasn't just a studio trick. It was recorded with real students from a local school. All right, we're halfway there. Before we hit the top 5, I want to know, what's your favorite song from 1980? Did we miss anyone who deserves to be on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone supporting this channel. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions keep us going, and I appreciate every single one of you. Now, let's keep the countdown rolling.
Upside down. Boy, you turn me in.
Coming in hot at number 5, it's Diana Ross's Upside Down, released in July 1980. This disco hit was produced by Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards of Chic fame.
I know you got charm and appeal. You always play the field.
Diana reinvented herself with this track, showing she could dominate any era. Interesting fact, Diana actually clashed with the producers over the song's mix, but her instincts paid off. It became a global hit. At number 4, it's Olivia Newton-John's Magic. From the Xanadu soundtrack, Magic hit the airwaves in June 1980 and became one of Olivia's most iconic tracks. Its dreamy, feel-good vibe captured the magic of the 80s. Interestingly, Magic became Olivia's biggest hit before Physical took her stardom to another level the following year. Taking the number 3 spot is ACDC with You Shook Me All Night Long. Released in August 1980, this rock anthem marked ACDC's triumphant comeback with new frontman Brian Johnson. It's still one of the most celebrated tracks from their Back in Black album. Interesting fact, the lyrics were inspired by a real-life romantic encounter. Let's just say Brian Johnson knew how to tell a story. At number 2, we have Queen's Another One Bites the Dust.
Walks further down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
This funky masterpiece dropped in June 1980 and became Queen's biggest U.S. hit.
Another one done, another one bites the dust. Hey.
Bassist John Deacon's groovy lines gave it crossover appeal, even topping dance charts. Interestingly, Michael Jackson convinced Queen to release this track as a single, and he was right. It became a monster hit.
Another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get you too.
And finally, taking the number 1 spot, it's Blondie's Call Me. Released in February 1980, this iconic track was a collaboration between Debbie Harry and Italian producer Giorgio Moroder for the American Gigolo soundtrack. It topped the charts worldwide and became Blondie's signature hit. Interesting fact, Debbie Harry wrote the lyrics in just a few hours after hearing the instrumental track for the first time. Now that's talent. And there you have it, the top 10 songs of 1980. These tracks didn't just top the charts, they defined an era. Their impact on music continues to resonate today, proving that 1980 was truly an amazing year for unforgettable hits.
What